All right, well, I think that's everybody. So first of all, thank you for coming. Big announcement here today at the Brockville Memorial Center about a new hockey league that is forming, the NAHA, the North American Hockey Association. We have Dustin Traylon and Ian McInnes here with us, and thank you all for being here. We're live streaming on Facebook right now, courtesy of Wit Profit, and so we'll probably take some online questions as well. And so we're just going to have some opening remarks from Ian here, and then we'll take your questions here in person. So thanks for being here. Ian?
Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for showing up today. We've been talking about this venture for it's been years now, so it's been long. It is long overdue. Dustin and I have put some time into this in the last 3 months when we decided we were finally going to do it. There's obviously been changes through the branch with our U18 program, so the time is now. We're excited. It's going to be a great product. It's great for our local kids, and we're just going to. It's going to start up in September. We have 8 franchises to start. It could have been more, but we decided the number was 8. And Dustin's going to share with you what the franchises are or who they are.
Thanks, Ian, and thanks everyone for coming today. Just want to send a quick shout out to Brockville's own Slater Duran, who's I believe he's up in Kingston. Might be back home now, but just want to say hi to him. I know he'll probably be watching, and he means the world to us. We're wishing him well in his fight here. So, as just echo what Ian said, this has been going on for a little while, and we're really looking to add something different, something a little bit more exciting, and something a little bit more fun for the kids. This will resemble something more like the Junior A product that we offer. And so without further ado, I'll announce the teams that will be involved in this. We have a team, 2 teams in Montreal, one on the South Shore, one on the West Island of Montreal. We'll have an entry from Cornwall, the Colts, the Brockville Braves, entry from Smiths Falls, Kingston, and we'll have a team in Ottawa East and Ottawa West to start. As Ian said, that there was a whole lot of interest, obviously, from many different people from across, the provinces and even across the pond. When I say the pond, the border. But we're going to start here. We're going to start things right, and we're going to do things as professionally as we know how. And we're just so excited. I can't tell you from a personal standpoint what this means for the city of Brockville and the kids here. So I'm really, really excited about what we're ready to offer here. So. I'm going to open the floor to some questions. We'll go right into that, and then we'll do about 10 minutes of online questioning, and then we'll call it a day here. So, yes, Ron.
You mentioned Brockville Braves, the Cornwall Colts. Are you talking about teams moving from CCHL?
Nope.
Or are you just competing?
This is not a competition. So this is a new league and a new venture with kids that will be at slightly different age groups, but similar to the Junior A product.
Okay, so it's just an independent league, so it sounds like you're leading the team names.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have 2 different sets of Brockville Braves, I guess?
It's all part of the same family, and that's what's happening. So, just as a quick announcement, the Brockville Tikis are for sale currently, and that's what we're moving into, kind of move forward with our developmental hockey as this new team.
Okay, so this is in tandem with the existing.
Correct.
CHL.
Correct.
Okay, I see what you mean.
In tandem, yes.
This is not a WHA, NHL type of thing?
No, we're not quite at the professional level yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Good question.
All right.
Like that.
So playoffs. Have you thought that far ahead?
Yeah, we have a couple of different proposals on the table. That's kind of a hockey ops question that we're going to have to deal with here over the summer. But there's different things that we talked about. We've talked about a tournament style like an NCAA, 1-8, 2-7, and so on. We've talked about 2 to 3. We've talked about best of the 7. It'll really be up to the the governors of this league to kind of decide what they want to do. But yeah, we talked about everything.
But who are the governors of the league?
So right now, if you'll just bear with me, we actually have one sitting right here, Mr. Ryan Thompson from Kingston. We have Ian McInnes. We have myself in Brockville. Just give me 2 seconds, and we have the Filoso family up in Smiths Falls. We have Randy Watt in Ottawa West. We have Marty Abrams in Ottawa East. We have Martin Lee on the West Island of Montreal. And we have Scott Calissimo, who's also working for the South Shore. So,
Okay, so Dustin, you say you're working in tandem. So explain to me how that works.
well, it's very simple. They're going to be independent of each other to start, but there are ways to intermingle the players. But all in all, this is going to be basically a development team that's going to feed the bigger team.
So the Brockville Braves will still be in the CCHL?
Correct.
With a team?
Yes.
This is a development team? to
Correct.
feed them.
That's correct.
So really there's no need for the teams?
Well, the Tikis, and it's nothing against the Tikis or the OJHL. We feel this is simply the future of hockey, and with this, understand that we're able to recruit players. Obviously, we're going to aim locally, but it really broadens the player pool, and that's one of the main reasons that we're doing this, is to broaden the player pool, and we can now pick off kids from anywhere in the world. So that's really the exciting part about this, along with obviously having the best local players available. That's the difference between the CCHL and what we're doing now in this venture. I'll leave it. Ian, you want to come up and answer something?
The Braves had 5 names, kind of
Yep.
tradition.
That's right.
So what's this team going to be called? And it's going to be
Brockville Junior Braves, and they're going to play on Wednesday nights. That's right.
Same with the Tikis are doing.
Correct.
Here at the Memorial Center.
Pardon me?
Right here at the Memorial Center.
Absolutely.
So Brockville Junior Braves play on Wednesday night. So I wanted to see the OJHL is Junior B.
Mhm.
Now, you're the developmental team for the, are you, you're talking about Junior A product,
Mhm.
but it sounds like you're doing sort of Junior B role by being a feeder for the Braves.
No, it's going to be a little bit different than that. The OJHL, and again, not taking anything away, I was there for 8 seasons, and there's some wonderful people, and it's run by a wonderful professional. They have a certain model, but there's really discrepancies in what they offer, and discrepancies in team compilation. We're looking at making this something that's very competitive on the ice, but also potentially maybe it could be a little bit younger. It could be a mixed bag of, it really depends on the team how they want to construct their team, but this is going to be what I consider a better product.
Does this require a blessing of a regulatory thing like Hockey Canada?
The best part about it is it does not.
It's a private venture.
Correct. Independent.
And how is this being financed?
By the governors of the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a business.
Private, yeah. Ian, your turn.
Anything else?
I can get back up there.
The TVs are for sale.
Yep.
What happens if the TVs are not sold before September? You guys are,
I would assume that so.
okay, I mean, obviously we're talking the same group of people.
Well, it's potentially you get kids, obviously. But yes, it would be sold by the time.
Sold and moved.
Yes, it's absolutely relocated. That's part of the deal.
Okay.
This is the North American Hockey Association. Is that what it stands
Yeah.
for? Is there thoughts that in the future having teams south of the border?
Yes. Yeah, there's, right now we can have kids within the structure of Hockey Canada and the branch. They're called commuter kids. So an American kid can come and play as long as he can make it home at night. It is a commuter kid. That stuff kind of changes as we're always hammered by rules, and so some years it's okay, other years it's not. We just it's just time to to do what we know how to do. We are hockey operators. We know how to do this. We've got to move away from people telling us, you got to do this and you got to do that. And we need to open up the player pool. We need to be more creative in how we do things. The U18 we thought was we did a good job, but we were handcuffed by the branch and how we operated that. This is going to be all hands off. We're going to be able to do what we do and what we do well, and we're really looking forward to it. And this year it'll be a quick start, but a lot of work's went into it. We're now, as of today, be looking for players, and in the future it'll be opened up for players.
Do you have a timeline for profitability? It sounds like you started to venture the next couple of years to ramp up. I mean, are you looking at profitability based upon land fees or based on commission or the gates?
Yeah, so the deliverables for the player will be just like the junior. So the player fees will be similar to what they are for the junior players. Like the deliverables will be the same. Right now, we probably can be more creative with this level than we can with our junior level because we're still in Hockey Canada mode. So. Like we'll be able to, we're looking at a 42 game schedule to 46, but we're going to be able to go into prospect tournaments anywhere we choose to go. So we'll be able to go to the U.S. We'll be able to give the kids exposure without doing paperwork coming out. We'll just be allowed to. We'll be free to move.
So the thing is, you can assure your players a pathway to, say, the OHL or higher.
Oh, for sure. There's, everybody comes and everybody, if you can play, they'll find you, right? This way we can put kids in the U.S. in front of the schools, in front of, this level. We're junior operators, so they're going to have junior operators' eyes on them every time they play. So, that's already a benefit for the kids.
Attendance has always been a problem at the tiki level. How do you see this is going to improve or will it improve? Hopefully it improves.
Yeah, if we're talking like Brockville specific, obviously we would have loved to have seen a lot more, community involvement in that team, but we did realize that it was a developmental team, and our model, the financial end of it is not based on necessarily having fans. Unfortunately, if we had to do that, that's kind of a throwback to the 90s, or the early 2000s when we didn't have player fees. You had to count on, attendance being, a major contributor to your success. But as it stands right now, I can tell you no one's making millions of dollars doing this. But obviously it is a business, so there is financial transactions being had. But at the end of the day, I think the one thing the kids will get out of this that's a little bit different than the Junior B is the quality of the product and the deliverables that are just a little bit different, a little bit more standardized also. In the OJHL you have teams practicing once a week. You have teams practicing like us 2-3 times a week, giving 4 hours of practice. Some kids, some of the teams are getting less than that. They have different equipment packages that vary between the two leagues. So again, this is going to be much more like the Junior A League, and I think that's going to be exciting for the kids because there's a different feel to it. I'll just be honest with you. There's a different feel to what we're doing right now versus the Junior B experience, I guess you could say.
The Braves have been really good the last few years getting involved in the community as well.
Yeah.
Is that something you see with this team?
It has to. Community involvement has been ramped up. I mean, we have some season ticket holders here today just kind of taking things in, and it's one thing I think I've learned, and with the help of Jamie McDougall, obviously. Jamie McDougall, our director of operations, is just a phenomenal human being, and she's been able to really tap into the community, and I think that's full marks to her, and she's my right hand. We couldn't do it without her. But yeah, community involvement has ramped up. The charity work, the appearances by our players. I think that's something that we really take to heart now, and it's not changing. It's only going to get better. So.
Well, 100 teams in Montreal and Kingston, which is going to be new for fans here.
Yeah.
You're looking at a better hockey product.
110%. So you hit the nail on the head, Bruce. The entire reason for doing this is to improve the hockey product at both levels, and without restrictions, namely, not being able to get 16 and 17-year-old players out of Quebec, only being restricted to 6 players from the United States, not being able to recruit international players as we have been in this league, in years past, a couple of years back. But these are the kind of things that we're kind of falling behind. So, if you look at what the British Columbia Hockey League is doing, they've stepped away from Hockey Canada for the exact same reasons that we're doing this today. And I don't want to, I'm not Nostradamus, but I don't think we're the last people that are going to do this either.
Do you see yourselves as potentially competing with the OJHL?
I don't want to. I want to look past. It's not to say that, again, the OJHL is I have tremendous respect for that league. This is a different product, and more than likely, given the fact that we have no restrictions, a more elite product. There's no doubt.
So what was the genesis of this? You think it's been going on for a couple of years? Is there a particular, you seem to have issues with regulations on player recruitment and sort of things. So is there sort of a bit of a beef that people had that led to this movement?
I wouldn't call it a beef necessarily. We're just being policied in regulation to death. It's death by 1,000 cuts. And at this point, we've decided, a group of us, that it's just not. It's not feasible. It's not something that can continue without us being hurt even more. We lose players now on an annual basis to different leagues. Already this year, we've had 2 players be picked up by major junior teams. The Brockville Braves have. We have a player who is tendered in the North American Hockey League. So we have to have the ability to go and re-recruit players. But whether it's the carding system after January 10th, whether it's the restrictions that are simply in place right now, they're so detrimental that it's just impossible to continue with them.
These are restrictions at the Hockey Canada level?
These are restrictions at the Hockey Canada and HEO level, absolutely.
Has this been attempted before, or something outside the Hockey Canada structure?
Not with the characters at this level, that's for sure. I think BCHL was the first junior A league to leave Canada or leave Hockey Canada and kind of go on their own. This is not like an entire CCHL thing, just for the record. There's 5 teams that are involved in it this year, and potentially more to follow. But as of right now, we're not going at this alone. There's 5 of us that are doing it. So clearly there's more than one person in this league that feels the same way.
So what happened? Hockey Canada anything to do with your decision?
The scandal? Listen, no one wanted to see that, but I don't think that that played a major role. Obviously, it's more hockey related than it is anything else. But there's a lot more to this story than just the Hockey Canada scandal. I'll let Ian address some of those issues if he so chooses. But for me, it's more the player procurement, the player pool, and having just a better product for people in Brockville to watch. So I'll leave it to Ian.
Yeah, there's, Hockey Canada has, our level, the junior A level if we're not feeding the major junior guys, we like to take both roads. Our kids can play major junior or go to school. Whatever their path is, we like to keep it open. And with Hockey Canada, they're very focused on the major junior teams in the World Junior Tournament. That's what it's about. Other than that, they have no. It's hard for us. So, and across the country, we can't get together enough to change that. So, and we've had some issues with our own branch. They've been getting a little. There was a lot of changes with that, and they're getting way too interested in the junior level. So we've been at it for a while, talking about it. The time is now. It's time to go. So yeah, I've been around a long time. When I was 10 or 11, 50 years ago, I remember being in the kitchen with Don Gilmore talking with my dad saying, you know, Dougie and Ian, they got to go play here because if they don't, they won't be able to play. Like it was sanctioned, non-sanctioned 50 years ago. And it was good for Dougie and I. We got to play every night, but, you know, our moms didn't like it. But that's how long this has been going on. Like Mr. Gilmore and Kenny Linsman, they had a league going on, but the Church Athletic League was sanctioned back then, and we had to go and hang out with some of those guys. So for me, it's time, and they're looking down on me saying, "Attaboy," for sure.
Well, I think it's exciting. Congratulations, guys. I think it's a great move.
One question. So it's 5 teams to start out with for the first season. Is that correct?
No, 8.
8. That's right. And they're spread out from Kingston to Montreal. So I assume down the road, if it works out, you want to look at expansions. What's the catchment area before you say it's too far? I know it says North American Hockey Association.
Well, we're very obviously we're on the border, so 3 hours into the U.S. there's some nice little hockey markets. You know, beyond Kingston to Belleville, there's these are leagues we kind of grew up with. You know, this like it's hard to believe that Kingston can't come this way. Like it's.
But with this new league, you guys basically, just whoever wants to get a team going and support it.
No, we could have started up with 12. We're being very selective in how we do this and how we start it. It's got to work. It's got to be smart. We got to know the operators. We put Ryan through the meat grinder. Like you have to. We've got a little group of 8, and that's how we're going to start. And during the winter, I'm going to retire from coaching, and this is going to be my full-time gig, looking after this league. So,
Process of recruiting players.
sorry.
You're not putting the players together.
Oh, every group, every team will put the players together, but I'm going to make sure what's happening on the ice and the deliverables for the players are in line and looking at growing.
So you haven't announced the formation of the league now. When you want to start playing in September, is that enough time to get 8 teams together?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh, yeah. We've been quietly doing things, let's say.
Ian, I don't know if you want to answer these, or Dustin or Ryan, but just to show you a little bit of the diversity and range, these are some questions that came up on Facebook as a result of our stream. And one of these people I happen to know who is in the U.S., so you can see the impact that this is happening. I think the questions might have already been answered, but there's nothing wrong with you reiterating your answers. Number one, he said, is this league going to be Hockey Canada sanctioned? I know we've heard it, but maybe if you can just review that for us in a sentence.
This league will not be sanctioned by Hockey Canada. No.
Okay. And next question, he wants to know, does the league have a name as to which level? Like he said, is this Junior B or Junior A, or is it something else?
Basically, the level is junior prep. We're preparing kids to play junior. The age, junior age is anywhere from 16 to 21, right? So we're not going to be at the higher end, but we'll be at the lower end and in the middle. And being non-sanctioned, that whiz kid that lives in your community that could never, used to be able to play junior hockey, will be able to now.
And his last question, and I think it might have been directed at Dustin, but I think Dustin might have answered it. So I'm going to ask you this one then, Ian. How will this be affecting the Colts operation?
How will it affect the Colts operation? It'll only enhance the operation. yeah, we're, you know, it's our ability to look beyond for players is only going to not only help the organization, but it's going to enrich the players' experience without a doubt.
Okay, that was all I had from that side. I'm just looking at my own Facebook page. I'm not sure what came up on the Graves page, we actually shared this stream onto Cornwall as well. Make sure we spread this out. Didn't have any contacts in Kingston. Ryan, sorry. I should have got a hold of them and managed or something.
So this is being launched here. Is Brockville going to be your headquarters for this league? Base of operations? Head office?
It'll be shared between Brockville and Cornwall, let's just put it that way.
Will you be able to use players from this team for the junior 18 in the upcoming season?
Absolutely, we will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some. We've been. How can I do this politically well? There's been some. Hockey Canada with their non-sanctioned and sanctioned, they have policies in place. Of late, our branch come in and tried to kick in some new policies. The CJHL, the Canadian Junior Hockey League, also tried to because of what's going on in BC. Hockey Canada has retracted all that, and the policy they have in place now stands, which is, it could be very easily challenged, but there's a. If a player goes outside of Hockey Canada and plays non-sanctioned hockey, there's a reinstatement path that you can pay your fee and get back into Hockey Canada. And this year it was 24 hours. There was cases that took 24 hours. And the success rate 100%. There's never been a denial. So we're comfortable, I would say. Hey, boys, we're comfortable.
So do you say you're on decent terms with the CCHL? You're on good business terms with them? Coexistence, that sort of thing?
Oh, we're in the best of terms, as best we're going to be at this time, yeah, for sure. We have some challenges at the junior level for sure. There's some differences of opinions, but that's what leagues and businesses are about. You value your differences and you move on, right?
Are you going to be running separate camps for this division? This league, sorry? Or is it going to be incorporated with the other camps?
Most of the, if you speak about the Braves,
Yeah.
Braves will run the Braves camp
Yeah.
for junior A. Players that potentially don't make the team will have the option. If they're caliber appropriate, because that's a big thing.
Yes.
To play for this new team.
So essentially it's going to be a junior A caliber product, which you'll be feeding the existing junior A teams.
We're going to have really good hockey players that may not, but we're hoping that we get the best in this area. But as it stands right now, sometimes when we have the best, they think the grass is greener somewhere else, and they go and do their own thing. And we have to replace them. Now we have the ability to recruit from everywhere. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
it's the player procurement and the player pool for our teams has gone from a tiny little footprint in HEO with the odd, exception to the world.
So beyond Eastern Ontario, which is what the
That's originally what we were. So
restrictions are.
correct, unless you were a residential transfer player, if you were what are some of the other kind of
Well, you can't
appeal
just.
player. You have to appeal. Everything is an appeal.
Yeah, you talk about borders, but we have provincial borders, right? So in Ontario, you have 3 associations. So you can't leave your association until you're 18 years old. Your junior clock is well on its way, right? This league's going to prepare kids for junior hockey. When we talk about, we're talking about deliverables. Our deliverables for these kids are going to be like the junior A kids. It's about what hours per week on the ice for practice, games, how we get to games, and being in the community is that's part of the that's part of the experience. Like that's what it's about, right? You don't anybody that retires or Hall of Famers for the National Hockey League, they don't talk about their championships. They talk about where they've been and who they met. That's when it's all over. We all play in the same league here at 9 o'clock at night.
Junior grades.
Junior growth in Colts and grades. All right. Okay. Any more questions online?
I didn't have any more, no.
I'm just seeing the other. I can tell you that there's a lot of people watching. That I can tell you.
Thanks everybody for coming. Very exciting news today with the reveal of the North American Hockey Association. So thank you very much and have a great day.